Hey guys, Bill Soriano here from Pittsburgh, and it's time for me to do my Blue Zone alert video for the week beginning November 17th, 2024, which is of course tomorrow. So the Blue Zone trading strategy is what I've been teaching you guys now, and it's a Fibonacci retracement strategy. This is the page where the training videos are at, showing you here how to set up the indicators for the Blue Zone, how to determine the trend on the higher time frame, and how to draw the fib retracement tool on the higher time frame. And then once price hits the Blue Zone, this is our Blue Zone trading entry model 1, which I will be showing you shortly here from the pairs last week that did set off our alerts. And then, of course, this is our counter trend strategy, where in the video here, I mistakenly say the 71 fib. It's actually the 78.9 That's our Blue Zone. And then we're going to have our update videos on this page here. I still have to update this page, but this page here will have all these videos like I'm doing today, where I go over the alerts for the next week. So the first part of this video here, though, is to look at the pairs that alerts went off for last week or the week before. And we were able to get, either a winning or losing trade, right? And so if we weren't able to do that, then those pairs will just go into next week's video. But what we're going to do today is go over the pairs where the alerts went off and we were able to get a win or a loss. We would have been able to get a win or a loss on the trade. So the first one here is AUDCHF. You could see here from our panel here that there's a red flag there, meaning that this was the higher time frame trend was bearish. So we were looking for short trades. And then, of course, we do look for counter trend trades as well, which you'll see a couple of them coming up here. But this trade here was with the trend. You see price, we're now on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so the Fibonacci retracement that you see here showing the Blue Zone is from the 4 hour time frame. And once that gets hit, we drop down to the 1 hour and we wait for our buy or sell shift, right? So again, if you need information on this, this is our Google Sheets here. Let's just pull this up as well here. There'll be a link to this in the video, but this is our Blue Zone trading process sheet here. And this gives you the entire strategy here. And then, of course, everything is here, right? The Blue Zone strategy, the link to the Blue Zone trading videos, invalidation and targets, entry model 1. Entry model 1 is the only entry model we have right now, right? And entry model 1 is waiting for a buy or sell shift on the 1 hour time frame. Buy shift is when the 5 EMA crosses and closes above the 13. A sell shift is when the 5 EMA crosses and closes below the 13. You wait for the candle to close, then you enter at the open of the next candle. See entry 1 below for invalidations and targets. So that's what we're going to show you here today, the pairs where it went off and we had a situation where a trade would be placed. So price moves into the zone. Now the 5-period EMA is the yellow line here. And again, that first video on the page here shows you how to set up these indicators so that you have all of this on your chart. You can see right around here, you get a sell shift where the yellow EMA crosses below the red and closes below it. The candle closes below it. And then that's where you would enter your trade. And you can see here that we get a nice move down. This would have been a nice winning trade for you. Okay, see here 1 second. So the next pair I want to show you is AUDNZD. This one was a little bit different. This was a counter trends trade. So you could see here, you could see that we have the bigger fib drawn here, and the Blue Zone is down here because this was a the higher time frame was bullish. But what we did was we took a counter trend trade looking for price to get down to the blue zone. And again, this is all explained to you in video 4 here, how to take this trade. Okay. But if you've watched that video, you have any questions, just get back to me. So now what we have to do is we have to draw a fib on the 1 hour time frame. And that's what this is right here. And you can see here, price moves back to our blue zone here. And what do? We wait for that sell shift, which we get right around here, where the 5 EMA crosses and closes below the 13. This moves down a little bit, and then it comes up, and you would get stopped out probably for a loss here at your invalidation level. But then what happens is you get another cross, and this ends up being a nice winning trade for you. Okay. So you have a loss and you have a win, probably a loss, probably a win, right? Using this strategy on AUD NZD last week, counter trend. So next one I want to show you is EUR AUD. Okay, and EUR AUD again, price. This was a higher time frame was bullish, so this trade is going with the trend. We see price come down into the blue zone here, right around here. On the close of one of these candles, you would get a buy shift telling you to enter on the open of the next candle. Price makes a move up, retraces, and then makes a nice move up again, which would have more than likely given you a winning trade on EUR AUD. Okay, so I'm just having to clip these videos together here because my mouse hasn't been working right. And so I actually stopped recording and didn't know that. So hopefully I'm in the right place here where I wanted to be in the video here. If not, I'll just have to edit it. But the next one I wanted to show you was GBP AUD. You could see the blue flag. So this was a bullish higher time frame, and this trade is going with the higher time frame trend. I did show you one that was counter trend. That was AUD NZD. I think we have one other one that is counter trend as well. But this is GBP AUD. You could see price moves into the blue zone, just a little bit into the blue zone. And then boom, right out, you get a buy shift here. Price makes a nice move up, which probably would give you a winning trade. And again, what we consider a winning trade is, you're going to set your invalidation zone, obviously down below this low here. And if that invalidation zone ends up being, say, 20 pips, then what we consider a winning trade is 2 times that invalidation zone or a 40 pip move in your favor. Okay, so that would be the place where we would want to close half the position and then move the invalidation zone to break even so that that trade is now no longer at risk and you've already banked your profit. Then what you try to do is you try to get a 3 time the invalidation zone goal out of that, which is always our goal, which if the invalidation zone again is 20 pips, that would be a 60 pip move in your favor. Okay. Now your risk, the amount of dollars that you risk is always the same because that's a percentage of your account. And I would suggest you do no more than 1% when you take these trades with the trend and no more than 0.5 of 1% when you take the counter trend trades, right? But that dollar amount's always the same for you. You just adjust your position size depending on how many pips your invalidation zone is, right? So this would be a nice win for you as well before price then moves back down, okay? See, I think there are a couple more that I want to show you here. So this is GBP JPY. Let me get that off of there. GBP JPY, you can see the higher time frame trend is bullish. So this was actually a counter trend move, looking for price to move back down to our blue zone, right? So this is our higher time frame fib on the 4 hour. That's our fib retracement, right? Just show you what that looks like here. Shrink this down, right? You can see that's the 78.6. We want price to come back down here, but that's going to take quite a while on this pair. So we're able to take these counter trend trades, right? And the way we do that is we drop down to the 1 hour, we wait for a change of character, and then we draw a fib on the 1 hour. So this is our lower time frame fib right here. And you can see that the blue zone is up at the top because it's a counter trend trade, right? We know that price is eventually going to move down to the blue zone here, where we'll take our longer term, higher time frame trade, but we know that it needs to move down to get there. Okay. We don't know when because it could just keep moving higher. And we may have to just keep adjusting our higher time frame fib retracement up and moving our blue zone alert up higher as it moves higher. But in this case, it does make a move down to get back down to our blue zone area. The only thing you want to watch is you don't want to take any trades once you're already past this 50% zone here. Okay, that's the only caveat to the counter trend trading. But that doesn't mean price. That means when you get your entry, you don't want your entries to be actually, I would even want my entry to be below the 38.2, but 50% is the absolute max that you would want to do. So we see we got this move down, we got this change of character here. We measured it, price came back into our blue zone, right? And you can see from there that we get a nice sell shift right here where the yellow EMA crosses below the red and makes a nice move down, pulls back, and makes a bigger move down as well. So that was a nice trade as well for us. That would have been a nice trade as well for us last week. I do have a couple more here to show you. There were quite a few of them from last week here. And again, these trades may have gone off the week prior, but they would have given us a win or loss, right? This past week. So that's why I'm going over them here. And there were quite a few of them. So NZD Chef, you could see the higher time frame was bearish. The blue zone is up here. So this trade is with the higher time frame trend. See, price moves into the blue zone. We get a sell shift here. Price makes move down, pulls back, right? Doesn't take us through our invalidation, and then makes a nice move down, giving us a nice winning trade had we taken this position, right? So that's NZD Chef. I think I have one more to show you here. So EUR NZD is the last one I want to show you here. That's the last one actually where the alert went off and we got a result, and we would have gotten a result. Let me make that clear to you guys. I am not taking all these trades at this point. Right now, I'm testing this strategy out. Okay. I probably plan on testing it one more week. And then after that, if I like the results, which I like the results from last week, and I do have a trade journal that I can share with you. If you want to see the trade journal, though, you have to send me a message, either email me or contact me on Messenger. I'll send you the link to the trade journal. I don't want to make that trade journal public because it has some information on there, some sensitive type information. And so I only give it to you if you request it. But basically it's showing, these trades in a little more, a better screenshot of the trade actually being a winner or loss. Anyway, here, again, this was a higher time frame was bullish. Price moved down into our blue zone here, right? And then we get a buy shift. Okay, now remember, when we get this buy shift, our invalidation zone, just pretend like this hasn't happened yet, all this. The invalidation zone is going to be right down below this low here. So it makes a move, and then boom, it takes us through our invalidation zone, okay? But then it doesn't go through the blue zone. It doesn't invalidate our blue zone. And then we get another cross right here. And you'll see this happened on AUD-NZD as well, where we would lose the initial trade, and then the second trade would be a nice win for us, okay? And you can see you get in right here, and then price makes a nice move up, giving you an initial losing trade and then a winning trade. Now remember that, since our real goal was to get a 1 to 3 trade, right? meaning risking 1% to get 3%, we can actually lose 2 out of 3 trades and still break even. But that's a little bit skewed because, as I told you earlier, we exit half the position once we're up by 2 times on a validation zone, right? Move the stop loss to break even. So that kind of changes it. So, but pretty much, with this strategy, you're doing good, as long as you're winning at least 50% of your trades, right? And actually, you can lose a little bit. You can lose a little bit less than 50%, even on down to 45%, and still be pretty profitable with this strategy. So those are the pairs where the blue zone was hit, our alert went off, right? It may have gone off this week or it may have gone off the week before, but we were able to see that we would have gotten a result this past week, meaning either a win or a loss based on 2 times the invalidation zone. Now, if you don't quite understand what I'm saying there, just contact me and I can explain it better to you. We can come on a live Zoom call or whatever, and I can show you more of what I mean. But these are the results from the blue zone trading strategy. Now, in the next part of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to give you I'm going to show you where to set your alerts. First of all, I'm going to show you which pairs you're going to want to look to trade next week, because I'm going to go through and I'm going to identify the higher time frame trend. I'm going to tell you which pairs you're going to look to trade and which way and where you're going to set your blue zone alerts. Okay, so that's what the second part of this video will be. Okay, guys, so I'm making this video. I made parts of this video yesterday, and then just to now, in this part of the video, we're going to give you the pairs that we want to trade, how we want to trade them, and I'm going to give you the blue zone alerts, as well as the blue zone alerts with the trend, as well as any blue zone alerts counter trend if we have any. So there were a couple pairs that fell off of the list this week because the 1 hour and the 4 hour no longer line up. And I believe those might have been, let me look at my sheet here real fast. These were a couple pairs that we didn't have any trade opportunities in last week, and so they fell off the list. But there are 2 new pairs to the list this week, and the first one is AUD/USD. So I just want to show that to you real fast and just show you the process here. So when you look at the daily sheet here, the first thing you see here is that price is below all the moving averages. You see that the moving averages, this blue line here is the 800. This teal line is the 50, and the gray line is the 200. So when you see, the 200 below the 800, price below both of them, the first thing that tells you is that the bias is more than likely bearish. And then if you scroll out, you can kind of see that here, the long-term effect. We're not really concerned, though, too much about that long-term. We're concerned more with the current trend bias. So it's bearish on the daily, and the 4 hour has to confirm that. And again, when you look at the 4 hour, you see the same situation. The moving averages are all in line for a bearish trend, and price is down below all of them. So AUD/USD is now on our list here as the higher time frame being bearish. And again, what we did was we went back here to this high, and obviously here's the big move down here, and this would be the swing. This would be the swing high, or the significant swing high. This would be the significant swing low. But because we have this, this pretty steep pullback in between here, we can use a different area. We don't have to go all the way up to here. And what I like to do is initially I like this area from here to here. But the problem with that was when we turned on the order blocks with the Lux Algo indicator, you can see here on the 4 hour, you don't have anything. And on the 1 hour, you can see that we have an order block going through this area that we have highlighted that we used for the fib zone. And so just to show you what I mean here real fast, if we pull this down to here, and then we drop down to the 1 hour, see how that order block that it's giving us, that bearish order block that the indicator is giving us here, is outside of our blue zone. So we like to see an order block, whether it's on the 4 hour or the 1 hour, inside of our blue zone. That's kind of an extra confirmation. Doesn't have to be there, but if we're a little bit confused on what area to actually use to draw our fib line, then that's the best way to solve that argument. So that's where we decided to do that. And so let's put that back up there. And so our blue zone alert is right here around 0.66642 for AUD USD. But and the other pair that we just added to the chart this week was NZD CAD. Again, when you look at the daily chart here, you have the 200 below, the 800, and price below both of them gives you, and you have the same thing here on 4 hours. So in this case, we went back to this high right here, just a little bit below this stronger significant swing high here. But because you have a pretty deep pullback here, and again, if we turn the order block on the 4 hour, the order block's above that blue zone, but on the 1 hour, we could see that we have two order blocks here actually going through our blue zone, right? And that being the newest one right there. And so, but again, two order blocks going through the zone there, so that's good. So that's why we chose that significant swing high right there for our fib, and that puts our blue zone alert at 0.833521. So those are the two new pairs there. So let's look at the other ones that have been on here. Again, AUD CHF, we don't have any alerts set for this week because this was a trade opportunity from last week, and we just have to wait to see what happens here because this was one of the winning trades you could have had from last week, obviously. And with that, now we kind of have to get, we have to get price to kind of move down below here or decide to go up higher before we can now draw another fib on the 4 hour time frame. AUD, NZD, same thing here. We don't have any, these couple trades here there was a losing trade and a winning trade like I showed you earlier. But right now we don't have any alerts set. AUD USD is the new one I just gave you at 0.66642. Chef JPY, again here, where do we have the alert set here? So we have our higher time frame trend obviously is bullish, and our alert for the blue zone is set at 170.369. And we also have an alert set here on the 1 hour from the 1 hour fib for a counter trend trade, right? And that alert was just missed, as you could see here. It was just missed. See how much it was missed by here? Well, the alert was probably should have been a little bit higher. But the point is that price just missed moving back into our blue zone before it shot down, right? So there's no alert set there for that right now. Although we could actually now, since we get this new move down here, you can adjust this fib to something like this. And then you could, now put an alert right here. Okay. Because again, this is the higher time frame fib over here, and that's the 50% point. So as long as we're getting in to the trade, well above that, we're actually even above the 38.2. It's okay to take a counter trend trade again down to our higher time frame blue zone, right? So this is a lower time frame blue zone, and the lower time frame blue zone is on the 1 hour chart, and that's used for the counter trend trades. And then of course the higher time frame blue zone is on the 4 hour, and that is used for the trades that go with the trend. Okay, so that's an easy way to remember that. EUR AUD. Okay, this was a trade from the higher time frame blue zone, meaning what? It was with the trend, and we're still waiting for that to play out here. It's good, but it was a good winning trade for you. But you could still be in these trades based on where your target is, right? I showed you earlier how you have a situation where once you get 2 times your invalidation zone size, you want to close half the trade in profit and move the stop loss to break even, but then you let that other half run. Okay, EURCHF, our higher time frame blue zone alert here is at 0.947005. We don't have a lower time frame alert right now. EURGBP, right? Our higher time frame alert is at 0.83842. And, actually should move it up a little bit. It should be at like 83854. Now we do have a lower time frame alert here because you see on the 1 hour chart, we get this change of character when this swing high is taken out. And then we draw the lower time frame fib, and we have an alert here, a blue zone alert on the lower time frame fib, which is what? Counter trend, guys, at 0.83186. EURNZD was again a trade from last week, which you could still be in this trade if you took it. You probably would have already closed half the position, moved the stop loss to break even, and just let the trade run. And you can decide whether to let it run to where you get a 1 to 3, or you can let it run all the way up here to the 0 point of the retracement. It's really up to you. You can kind of manage it. Once you get 3 times your invalidation zone, you can move the invalidation zone up to 1 time or 2 times the invalidation zone. You can do a trailing stop, or you could just get out. You could do it however you want to do it. I don't have any real, that's kind of up to your personal preference and how your mindset is and how you handle your trades, right? EUR, so there's no alert set for EURNZD. EURUSD does have a higher time frame, the higher time frame alert, which is with the trend set at 1.07535. And then in order for us to get a lower time frame alert, which would be counter trend, we need to get a change of character. We need price to close above this dash line right here. So there's no lower time frame alert to set. We just have the higher time frame one, which is with the trend. So we'll wait for price to move up into there. GBP-AUD, this was also a trade you would be already in, right? So there's no new alert set for this. GBP-JPY, this was another trade that you may be in here from the lower time frame trend, right? Beautiful, beautiful trade here. You could see how We got the change of character here, and the indicator actually showed you the correct change of character this time on the lower time frame, right? You draw your lower time frame fib from this high to this low. Price comes back to your blue zone. You get your sell shift entry trigger here on the 1 hour, and look at that move down. And now you're waiting for price to come back to the higher time frame blue zone, which is with your higher time frame trend, right? And that's at 191.701. GBP okay. This one here is a current trade that would be taking place, and it's not yet reached that two-time validation zone or hit your invalidation zone. So it's currently just, we got to see how it plays out this week in GBP NZD. So we don't have any alerts to set there. NZD CAD, again, we have our higher time frame with the trend alert set at right there at blue zone alert set at 0.83554. We don't have a lower time frame counter trend alert set, blue zone alert yet, because we need price to break this high right here to give us a good change of character. NZD Chef was a trade you could be in still from last week, so there's no alert set there. NZD at USD was the new one. Was that the new one? Or no, this one's from this one's still set from last week here. Again, our blue zone alert, higher time frame set at 0.60611. And we don't have a lower time frame counter trend alert set until price breaks this line right here, which would give us a change of character. USD CAD, this one just keeps moving up, guys. So I've been all week long, I've just been moving the fib zone up, trying to find a new low to use, but I can't really find one. You can see here right now on the 1 hour chart that the order block is still inside of this blue zone here. There's no order blocks showing up from the indicator up in here. So we just have to keep this alert set right there at 1.38993. Okay, now we don't have a counter trend alert set, but if we did a break of structure right here, you could see how you get this pullback, a good pullback, a move higher. So a good change of character move would be probably right there. You need to get a candle to close down below here, right? And then if we could get that candle to close down below there, right, then we can measure this lower time frame fib here. That'll give us a lower time frame blue zone, right, for price to then come back to. That's how that works. Right, just to give you a little bit of training on that. And then we could wait for price to come back to there and shoot lower and eventually get to our higher time frame blue zone down here. But right now we just have the one set at 1.38993. And then the last one should be USD JPY. This one, this one now, you see we got price moving down closer to our blue zone here, and the alert is set at 153.095, the higher time frame blue zone with the trend. And now because we got this change of character here on the 1 hour, see this strong move down, we were able to measure this lower time frame fib here, which is counter trend, and we have an alert here at 156.077. So that's pretty far away as well. So that's what we got for the week, guys. So these training videos, these weekly alert videos are going to be put on this page right here where you see this link, Blue Zone Trading Update Videos. Okay. And I don't have this page updated right now, but you can see here that I have a couple videos here, but probably have to get rid of these because these videos here really weren't made for the blue zone trading. So I have to use this area. This is where I'll put these weekly videos where I do the blue zone alerts, also go over the trades from the week before that could have taken place, and then any other training videos will go here. Okay, guys, any questions? Let me know. Have a great week.